Hello everybody, I hope you can hear me and see me okay. We're going to be doing something special tonight. As you know, I've been doing a few of these impromptu readings. I think this is a great chance to just sort of try new things out. It's not always about testing out a new piece of equipment. I'm also trying to test out different sort of things that you might enjoy. For many of you, you've seen me for up to 7 years, depending on how long you've watched the channel. I don't do a lot of focus on love and relationships here, but there's no reason that I can't kind of put that into the regular rotation. My main videos are not all about you and your person, but I also don't want to ignore that in the sort of general repertoire of what I have available. So I thought the impromptu would be a nice place just to experiment a little bit and see if you guys like it. And basically, this is very democratic when I try new things out. If it performs well, if you like it, if there's a lot of positive engagement, I do more of it. If there isn't, then I don't. It's kind of like I listen to how you react to it. So what I was thinking about today was taking a look at love and relationships, and we're going to go through each zodiac sign. Most of my videos, unless I say otherwise, it's for everyone. I've never really done this, so I'm going to try this also as a sort of format experiment. So we'll look at each zodiac in the order of the zodiac, just because it's easier for me to manage it when I do that. In fact, I'm going to grab a piece of paper so that I can kind of scratch it out as I'm going along. And I think what I'm going to do today is take a look at probably two messages for each sign. One for those of you that are in relationships, and one for those of you that are either looking or just open to general guidance. So that's how we're going to do it today. And I'm going to switch through a lot of different decks, and we're going to go pretty quickly. So just a couple of quick notes before I begin. If you like what you see here today and you'd like to find out more about me, you can follow me on social media. All the links are right there. I'll pin a comment in just a moment as well. Also, a great way to vote that you like this video is to hit that thumbs up if you want to see more love and relationships sort of focused readings. You can also show some support through super chat and super stickers. It's a great way for you to kind of say thank you. And I've been putting it all back into this sort of equipment setup that I have here, so I hope you appreciate that. And then my schedule information is here. I'm going to be live tomorrow. We're going to do a Sunday collective reading where we dig deep into a topic of your choosing, so you can actually go on the community tab right now and vote if you'd like to. Okay? So give me just a second here. I'm going to pull up my information here just so you can have it for future reference. So for any of you that are new and just happen to pop in, let me go ahead right now and give you a quick link to my website. So I'm going to put this up right now. So 1 second. Here you go. And if you have any questions in the future about anything, you can go there. So I'm going to pin that. And now what we're going to take a look at is the signs. We're going to begin with Aries, and just like it says at the bottom, I'm not taking direct questions. I'm just going to go through the zodiac in the order of the zodiac and kind of give two messages for each sign. All right, so give me just a second here to get everything set up, and we shall begin. All right, so starting with Aries, I'm going to just pick a deck that's calling to me, maybe something that we haven't used in a while, and let's see what the message is for you. 1 second here as I get this set up. All right, so again, we'll be looking at one card for first those of you that will be in a relationship, you and your partner. Another one for those of you that might be single and happy and just curious what sort of messages may be coming in. All right, let's go ahead and talk one-on-one here with all of these. So for those of you in a relationship, it does look like there's some changes going on right now. The Tower card in reverse is actually, it can be an auspicious placement of the card because it means that you know what needs to be fixed. And it's really just a question of, are you ready to fix that? So again, we're doing Aries right now. Your main question as you're kind of looking at this is, what do I want to work on? What do I want to focus on? Am I okay with the discomfort that's often a part of being in that Tower energy, which is change is necessary. Maybe I waited too long, but now I can have a positive effect because I'm ready. So going with that flow of change, trying to get on the same sort of mental page, clearing the air, clearing things up, cleaning and clearing. There's a sort of common trend here with the Tower card. So all Aries right now in a relationship, you really want to make sure that you have a chance to get any old business finished, clear the air, clear your intentions, and you can use this period to really find a nice sort of solid, fresh, clean slate. So I actually like the Tower in reverse. Upright Tower is kind of like a catch-up time, but reverse Tower is choosing to make a difference. For those of you that are single and happy, part of the reason that you may be sort of staying in that energy of single and happy is control and maybe even recovery from an old relationship. The Devil card in reverse is usually a reclamation card. Fancy word for you getting your energy back or you getting your power back. So until you sort of feel completely at ease and comfortable with yourself, it doesn't surprise me that many of you are happier kind of going at it solo. I do want you to make sure that you don't kind of give so much power and energy to the fear, which can be part of Devil reversed, that you don't move in or try some sort of new relationship. So the basic thing here, both Aries, you're going through some energy at this moment in time. Current relationships, a chance to kind of clean things up. For those of you that are single and happy or not looking, the energy is the same. You really want to have autonomy, control, and you want to say in things. So go for that, but don't be afraid to partner or connect because there probably is energy out there. The Devil is really the lover's card kind of in disguise, but we have to get through our own sometimes self-love issues to be able to really connect with that. All right? So again, that's Aries. We're going to move along to Taurus, and let's take a look at your messages. All right, again, we're going to do one for each. We're going to look at those of you in a relationship and those of you looking for, or either single and happy or single and looking. It's kind of the same energy. We can just look at it both ways. So rather than me pulling three, we'll just kind of look at it this way. All right, so let's take a look here at the energy of Taurus. Taurus, those of you that are in a relationship, there's a lot of cleanup going on, it looks like right now. We've got the Ten of Swords in reverse. So for many of you, there is a chance to think about something you said, something that someone else said, and you're kind of figuring out how much am I going to let that get under my skin. Sometimes there's an argument that's happened in the past week or month. Sometimes there's old wounds from the past. You could also just be healing yourself. Maybe there's been a lot going on and either mentally or physically it's taken its toll on you. The Ten of Swords is really coming through to remind you to practice self-care and to release any sort of, sometimes it can, the word vendetta wants to come in, but it can be a grudge. So if you're holding on to a grudge or to some sort of pain from the past, it isn't going to heal it, and it isn't going to help the other person either. So releasing those sort of karmic scars and heart scars that are kind of on the inside, that's going to be important. Try, when you're talking to your partner, to avoid hot button issues where you know that it's just going to kind of like exacerbate an issue. So definitely picking and choosing those battles carefully and focusing on self-care if you're in a relationship, that is the most important thing, okay? The other thing is the Sun here, as we're looking at those of you that might be looking for love or for those of you that might be single and happy. It looks like the reason that you're going to be doing great in either way is because your charisma is shining. There does seem to be focus on self. The Sun card, if I'm just doing a general spread, just looking at you, I actually tend to not look at them too critically if Pentacles is in reverse or something like this is in reverse, like the Sun card. It's telling me that you're doing some inner work, oftentimes rebirthing, because this is one of the baby cards in tarot, not necessarily this particular illustration, but traditionally the Sun card would have a little baby riding on a pony or a unicorn or something like that. Six of Cups, of course, is another child, and the Fool is another child. So anyway, with this particular card, it's about really letting your sort of true self shine. And, the Sun card can be much bigger. It's about trying to reach a big audience. The Star, rather. The Sun versus the Star. The Sun is inner. The Star is kind of like this bigger version of you. So the cool thing here is when you know yourself, when you're really comfortable with yourself, then other people are going to be at ease too. So have some fun. And yes, it's a good time to find someone if you're interested. Some of you may be looking for a family or might be looking to start something new because of that sort of birthing or rebirthing energy. So understanding where you stand with that and making sure other people are supporting that is going to be key. So for Taurus, it's definitely a lot easier if you're single and looking or single and happy than if you're in a relationship. Relationships right now, communication is the primary focus, and self-care and self-healing is the also primary focus there. Putting the two together, though, I do feel like there's an overall story about getting over the past and being able to sort of like redefine yourself, because we can take these two together and give you an overarching message, which is pretty positive overall. Okay, so that is Taurus. We're going to move along now to Gemini. All right, I have a bunch of decks here, so I'm just going to cross these out as I'm doing it to make sure I don't miss anybody. Yeah, here we go for Gemini. All right, so Gemini, let's take a look at what's coming through for you. That's a nice way for you to see what I've done too. All right, Gemini. Okay, Gemini. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on with you. Here's what I see right now. We have, for those of you in a relationship, we have the Five of Swords. With the Five of Swords energy, one thing that I would like to remind you is that it's going to be really important to try to not overdo it when it comes to, sorry, I'm going to put it up here so you know, so Gemini again. So there are some battles that can't be won, a very similar energy that we saw with Aries just a few moments ago. So I definitely want you to be careful with respect to having to prove that you're right, having to force an issue, and if there's someone in your life that simply won't listen, we've all been there, right? Where it feels like it's going in one ear and out the other. So if there's someone in your life that just can't listen or is choosing not to, it's really going to be important for you to step away from that. Because what can happen sometimes is that just kind of like gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's a dam that, you know, eventually is going to have to break. So I think the important thing for you would to walk away, get some clear perspective, let them get some clear air as well, and realize that someone else may be under a lot of pressure that we don't understand. So understanding maybe why they're acting out or acting up is going to be so important. And for yourself, the stress management as well is going to be absolutely important to just general happiness and success. So definitely focusing on that is going to be key. For those of you single and happy or single and looking, the energy is much more sort of beneficial here. We have the Queen of Cups. You could be pulling in a water sign. Also, if you're just very open, very engaging to other people, this is going to be a great way to connect. Very creative energy as well. Sometimes I pick up on things that aren't relationship related at all. So I would say for many of you, this is a great time to tap into ideas, brainstorming, and overall good time to be working on yourself or kind of like in a new partnership. So across the board right now, existing partnerships are going through kind of like a review and a cleanup. I've seen a common trend as we looked at Aries, Taurus, and now Gemini. But if we put the two together here, again, we sort of see this nice combination in almost all the signs so far, which is focusing less on optics, on what other people think, focusing more on how you feel, trusting your heart, allowing for that creative energy to flow. I think that's going to be absolutely important. Okay, so there we go. That was Gemini. We're going to move along to Cancer. Again, I'm doing all signs in order, not taking questions, just kind of going at a semi-decent pace here so that we can get through all the energy. And if you like this, by the way, please do give a like and let me know in the comments when it's on replay. I don't think I've ever done this. I'm just giving it a try to see if I do like it. It is a little bit more work and I have to kind of go to a faster pace, so hopefully you enjoy. All right, so let's take a look here real quick and see what's going on for Cancer. All right, Cancer. So let's look at what we've got here. For those of you in relationships, so far, seems like you have the best energy of all the signs thus far. Ace of Swords, great time to talk about things that you care about. Great time to start something new. Really just a great time to get engaged. Like when I'm saying engaged, I'm talking about sort of engaging the other partner. So nothing bad with this at all. Feels like also it'd be a good time to work on something together. So partnership looking really, really strong. Communication being the key to this, and showing and kind of like walking the walk and talking the talk kind of go hand in hand with the Ace of Swords. Don't have to talk much about those of you in relationships because I like what I see. If there is a problem, I feel like it's just about talking it out, okay? So far, the lightest and brightest energy of any sign. All right, looking now at those of you that might be looking for a relationship or single and happy, we have Temperance. Temperance is a great energy. The one thing with this one is if you started something new, take your time and enjoy it. If you are kind of just trying to find yourself a little bit, this card is also about personal development as well, okay? Now, one thing that's kind of interesting with the Temperance card is sometimes it can be just a little bit lacking action. So if you're wondering why things are going slower than you'd like them to, then just pick up the pace a little bit, because this is very much wait and see. So the other partner may want a little bit more of an indication from you that you're interested, that you're engaged in what they have to say or what they have to offer. Okay. Also, I associate this particular card with April, just personal reader energy with this. So for many of you, we're looking at something coming in, not too far distance here, next couple of months, but there's some inner work that needs to be done first. So take your time. Be patient. Patience is a key sort of lesson here for those of you that are single or happy or single and looking. Okay? Perfect. All right. So Cancer, you seem to be in a really good place right now. Let's go ahead now and move along to the energy of Leo. All right. So let me grab a deck for you, Leo. And let's see what's coming through. I feel like I can just do the inset on this because I'm going to lift them up anyway. So Leo. Okay, Leo, you're bucking the trends here just a little bit, because those of you in a relationship, it seems to be going pretty darn well. We have the Three of Wands here. The one thing with the Three of Wands is usually what you are seeking is a lot closer than you think. This is a very active Three of Wands where we see the person needing to take that extra step, climb a little bit higher, and go after what they want. So I would say for many of you, don't lose hope, just keep pushing, because you'll be surprised. This next little bit of effort between you and your partner, it's going to pay off. So if it hasn't been where it needed to be before, it should start to improve pretty quickly. It's also a card of recognition. So in a typical Rider-Waite-Smith deck, you would see someone looking up at the beautiful work that's being done architecturally, someone working on it, and a couple people like saying, good job. So sometimes we need that good job validation, that gold star. There may be someone in your life that needs the validation as well. So this is a time for you to give and or receive that validation. If someone says you did a great job, don't put out like false modesty. Say, thank you, I worked really hard on it. Because sometimes it can come off as disingenuous. If they know that you worked hard and it's just sort of like, thank you, I'm glad you noticed. That's perfect. That's all you have to do is a heartfelt thank you. For those of you that are looking for love or are just kind of wondering what's coming through with relationships, personal healing is going to be the most important thing. We have the Three of Swords in reverse. This is definitely, it's an interesting card because we see ostensibly these kind of like swords have been put in by the person as well. So there is permission and encouragement for you to let go of the pain. You might be beating yourself up. I should have done this. I wish I would have said that. Why did I say that? I wish I wouldn't have said that, especially if someone passes away or something like that. So you learned from your past experiences. You're not defined by the past experience, and you're living here in the present. So the important thing for you is to alter how you act in the future. Be present. If you want to kind of atone for the past, that's fine, but it feels like there's a chance to just let things go. Also to let other people have a second chance, or just to, again, release the energy of punishment, whether it's self-inflicted or inflicted upon others. Very sort of similar energy as we would see maybe with judgment sometimes. So the main thing here is when you open up that heart, good stuff's going to come through. Nobody else really wants to see you in pain, and I'm sure you don't want to see other people in pain either. So healing is the name of the game if you're single. And for the rest of you in relationships, it looks pretty darn good here. I will say if we just combine the two cards together, try not to work yourself into exhaustion, and try not to put yourself second. That would be some sort of ancillary messages that would come along with that as well. So there you go. Again, I was reading for Leo. Now we're going to move along to Virgo next. All right, so Virgo, let's take a look at what's coming through for you. All right, so we'll use the Afro Goddess for you. If I take it off for just a second, I see like what sign are we on, so I'll do that. All right, so for those of you that are in love, we have the Fool card and the Fool card in reverse. So the message for those of you Virgos out there that are in a relationship is it feels like you need your freedom or your partner needs your freedom. It's also kind of a card of irreverence. So I think it's really important for you to not forget to sometimes not be overly focused on productivity. And this is a very Virgo sort of thing, like getting that list together, making sure everything's all right. I'm super organized, and I do have Virgo. It's in love, interestingly enough. It's in my sort of Venus. So for those of you that have Virgo placements anywhere, that organization and structure is important. But right now, for you and your partner, this is kind of like saying, just have some fun. Take it one step at a time. Don't try to overthink every single step. You know, it's kind of the equivalent of those of you that might have, you know, a family that, or a friend, and there's a different way that you vacation or take a holiday. Some people, when they're on holiday, they just want to have fun every day, you know, just see where it takes you, see where the wind takes you. Other people will have an itinerary with all of these things that they have to hit. And it's almost like a job when you travel sometimes with people that have a really tight itinerary, because you don't get a moment to just enjoy. If you've ever taken a tour, or, you know, in a different part of the world, you probably know the difference between just experiencing it, maybe with a guide or a friend, and having to go on a tour where everything's planned out. So basically this is saying, try not to plan everything, try to just experience some things, try to have some fun. The other thing is it can just be a maturity card. So you or your partner may be experiencing some challenges with the other, depending on who's the most mature, who wants to have a little more fun. So I think looking at how you can be more playful, how you can let go a little bit, that's going to be the key piece in this. All right, for those of you that are looking for love or single and happy, just sort of single basically, we have the Sun card, a common theme that keeps coming up here with the Sun. The Sun is great because, again, you've got the Sun in the upright position, so it's really just about trusting yourself and not holding back. Both the Star and the Sun card are about authenticity. Again, the Sun is a little bit closer to home. So that thing that you think makes you weird is actually what makes you cool or special, or is going to attract somebody in your life. So maybe it's a type of music that you listen to, a hobby, something that you geek out on, and you think maybe you like to play computer games or something like that, PC games, and you'll find someone else who geeks out in the same way. So don't be afraid. Let your true self shine, and that's going to be great. Also, we see you're holding the bird here, so I think some of you may have a secret admirer, may have someone out there that's interested, but there is a shyness sometimes to the other person because this is sort of a younger card or a sort of a younger energy, so don't be afraid to engage. These are two very playful cards. I was talking about the baby cards in tarot. You got both of them here with the Fool and the Sun card. Probably if I pulled a third, it would be like the Six of Cups. So nurturing the inner child, having fun, connecting with children in your life, all of those things, young at heart, that's kind of the name of the game. So hopefully that helps all my Virgos out there. All right, let's move along to Libra. Give me a second to pick a deck for you, Libra, and we'll see the messages coming through for you. All right, so Libra, what's the message for you? All right, so here we go. Libra, we have, you showed up basically with this card. We have the King of Swords. So for those of you in love, this is a really good energy. It shows commanding presence. It shows the ability to communicate. It shows that you're in a really great place. I always like this particular deck. It's the Lightseers deck here. We see all the different types of birds and flying insects and animals around this particular King of the Mountain. So I would say for many of you, making sure that you are connecting with old friends, all the different people that might be thinking about you or leaning on you. This is going to be really important to think of the larger audience there. But you're in a good place. Again, the same as I forget which sign had the Ace, but same sort of energy here, but even stronger. If you want to command attention, if you want to make something happen, your actions and your communication are right off the charts. So remember to listen to your higher self. I'm looking at the lovely owl here, and also listen to feedback from others. It looks like you have a lot of different people that want to offer feedback. So being discerning and figuring out kind of how to organize that might be important. But relationships look pretty good for Libra. I like where you're at. You're coming through stronger than you have before. That strength could surprise other people. They may be taken aback a little bit, but eventually they'll see that this is something that's always been there. All right, the next piece here is for those of you that are single and happy or single and looking, the Sun card. I mean, I don't know how many times we're going to get the Sun card. It keeps coming up. So there's a common theme here. I love how this is connecting to source. This is a different interpretation, and we're going to have a different message for those of you that are single and happy. You are the source of your happiness. You are always connected to something bigger. You are not defined by another person. So if you are single, you are not less than, especially if you have married or partnered friends that sometimes make you wonder. You're fine just as you are. And so whatever you're trying to create in the world, if you want to pull a partner in, you can. If you don't have to. Children, new sort of creations, like if you're trying to start a new project, start a new job, rebirth, kind of reinvent yourself, or again, maybe have a child. Because I'm getting so many baby cards, that's something here, is the newness and the sort of like invention energy that we're seeing with 2022. Feels like a lot of you are single and happy, and that's A-okay, as you know. So there we go. Putting the two cards together, really good time for you, Libra, because you're coming through loud and clear. So I like this very strong upright sun card. I like your ability to communicate. Try to figure out what kind of story you're trying to tell and who you want to kind of talk to. But I feel like right now, not unstoppable, but nearly so. I would say really kind of feel like the sky's the limit, okay? So fantastic. But inner self, inner beauty, getting back to your kind of like ideals that you had when you were a kid. It's getting back to basics is what I see when I look at that sun card as well. So fabulous. All right, we're going to move along now to Scorpio. Let me pick a deck for you, Scorpio, and see what the message is. Okay, put it back up. So for Scorpio, 3 of Swords for those of you in relationships. There's been a lot of this sort of healing energy coming through. It's kind of interesting, even when by the way, this is why I usually don't do each and every sign, because we have a lot of common themes. I wanted to kind of try it tonight, but there is a reason that I do an all-encompassing one, because I'm seeing trends across all the signs, just pulling 2 cards. We are all in the same sort of energy, and we can all benefit from kind of looking at things together. So this kind of proves why I enjoy collectives. All right, the 3 of Swords. What's in the past is in the past. Also, when I look at this, it's almost as if this stag has been skinned or something, but to me it looks like an old skin, an old you. So whatever it was in the past between you and your partner that kind of made this sort of tension that I'm seeing in this card. For many of you, this is a chance for you to just think, I don't want to do that anymore. Some of you may be on the precipice of separation or just really working on inner happiness. This also can have to do with the fact that there's something in your life, not just your partner. There could be something else in your life that is creating this sense of unhappiness. This could be work or family, because jobs, we spend more time at our jobs than we do sometimes with our partner. And then family can really give you a heartache sometimes too. So whatever the source of heartache is, or the source of pain is for you, that is what's kind of getting in the way of you and your partner being happy. Choose happiness. So if it's an external sort of thing, fix that so that you can, reconnect with your partner. But if it is your partner that's the source of it, then it's really kind of a chance to figure out, like, is this still where I want to be, or have I outgrown this sort of relationship? You have to get past that hurt, and the hurt is caused for a reason, and you have to kind of go back to the source here. So self-care, talking to someone, maybe talking to a counselor, very important in this particular moment in time. Okay, so the next one here is for those who are single and happy or single and looking. It does feel like one thing that I'm sort of noticing here with Scorpio is healing and moving through or past any sort of like lower frequency energy. So this particular 9 of Swords is not afraid to look straight into the face of fear, right into the beast's mouth right now. So it's kind of like a nightmare. If you wake up, turn the lights on, think for a moment or two about what you dreamed about, you realize, okay, it was really just a dream. It was telling me something. I was afraid in the moment, but you can sometimes wake up and laugh at yourself, or it's not as bad as you think. Or if you look at a scary movie that maybe when you were 6, 7, 8 was like, oh my God, I can't watch it. You watch it as an adult. Special effects are like over the top. The acting isn't very convincing, and you know that it's not as bad as you think. So with those of you that are afraid, move past the fears. Afraid of talking to someone, afraid that something may be as good as it gets, or that this that someone may not be able to see or understand you, you need to move past the fears because they're not as big as they feel, or as you feel that they might be. So heal yourself in existing relationships. Choose the path of happiness. The heart wants to come through. The winds of change are blowing, so it's really about moving with them. And when it comes to trying something new, especially if it's a relationship, this is really about saying it's okay. We're going to step into something new, okay? And when we put the two together, this is really just about moving past pain and moving past fear. And these cards are showing that you're moving into a sort of better energy overall, okay? So I think that, Scorpio, you're really focused on self, both if you're in a relationship or single. I think this is a time for you to really kind of build yourself up and focus on self-care, okay? All right, let's move along to Sagittarius. I'm going in the order, so we've done Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, and we're on Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius, for those of you that are in relationships. So we have the Knight of Coins in reverse. If it's your partner, the Knight of Coins in reverse can indicate someone who is having a harder time being there for you, listening to you because they're focused on themselves. If it's you, you may also be kind of in that energy of thinking, I need to do this for myself, but I need to tell my partner that it's important. So it seems like one or both of you have a moment where you need to declare sort of like a need or a desire. And if stated in the right way, and if you kind of give and take regularly in the relationship, it'll balance out. But it's important to communicate why it's important. So that's the main thing that I see there, is that one partner needs a little bit more and has to ask. For those of you that are single and happy or single and looking, impatience is getting in the way, as is exhaustion. We have the Four of Swords in reverse. Some of you are just too busy, or you're not making the time, or you're so tired that it feels sort of difficult or challenging to be able to get out there and connect with others. So I think that the important thing here is to prioritize. No one else is going to do it for you. So if you need or want something, you have to kind of like put on the brakes a little bit. And sleep is so important. Just like I was looking at with Scorpio with the Nine of Swords, I forgot to mention this, so this is a little bit for you too. But I would say for many of you, you just have to sort of like decide, if I keep burning the candle at both ends, I'm just not going to have enough. So choose to do something for you. Choose to do something that makes you happy. Know that through the rest, you're going to get messages. We see this lovely little bird that's displayed on this Four of Swords. You get messages from the beyond. And I think that's really going to be essential, okay? So you're your own best advocate. You're the only person that can make the change happen when you need it, how you need it. So, take the driver's seat, take the wheel, make something wonderful happen. All right. So that is the message for Sagittarius. We're going to move along now to Capricorn. So let me go ahead now and choose a deck for you, Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, let's give this a shuffle. All right, Capricorn, for those of you in a relationship, pretty darn good. We have the King of Swords here. Common, again, very interesting how there's a lot of common cards coming through. You'll read this one actually has the caption authority with it. And so it's going to be important for you to step in and say what you want. And there might be something where a partner comes through and is trying to get away with something, or someone could also be trying to impede between you and your partner, and you're going to stand up and say, don't do that. This is where you put your foot down. And it may be, again, the first time people hear this voice, a common thing that we've been talking about tonight. But don't be afraid to do what's right. And don't be afraid to say what you need to say. It's going to establish a new sort of milestone for some of you, but also like a higher bar where people just know that they have to act in a sort of better light when they're around you. So, yeah, you're gonna use your voice, you're gonna stand up to authority sometimes, and you may question authority, but you are in the driver's seat, you are in control, and that's the main message with that. Those of you that are looking for love or single and happy, we have reliability on the caption on this one, but it's Prince of Pentacles in reverse, or the Knight in reverse. So this is a time for you to especially look for in a new relationship. Are you the one that always has to text, phone, or email to make something happen? Do you always have to be the sort of initiator? Because if so, your partner is taking whatever you're going to give, or this new sort of person in your life, but they're not giving back in turn. So pause a little bit and see what happens. See how long it takes. Also see in a conversation, you can just be quiet for a moment and see how much of it you're carrying. This is really about making sure that you're not doing all of it. And then also to let the guards down. So the defenses. Maybe you or the other partner is potentially holding on to too much, pushing back a little bit. Again, this is if for those of you that might be single and looking and you just met someone. For those of you that are single and happy, but maybe wondering like, why am I still single and happy? Or I'd like to make some more friends. Why is it hard? Because the shield is up. And so this is really about letting the defenses down and realizing not everyone's interested in dating you. Not everyone's interested in more than just being friends. So if you're just looking for friendship or different types of connections, let the guard down a little bit. Okay, so the common theme with you this month, if we just pull it all together, is not being afraid to take control or speak up, and making sure that things are reciprocated, plus making sure that there's not so much of a fortress up around your castle that nobody can kind of get through that, okay? So kind of there's an old Sting or Police song about building like a castle around your heart or a fortress around your heart. It's that sort of metaphor of how can I get in if those walls are so high, right? So let the walls come down. All right, so we just finished with Capricorn. We're going to move on now to Aquarius. Again, I'm looking at one card for those in love and those for they're either single and happy or single and looking. So let's take a look here, Aquarius, and see what the messages are. All right, Aquarius. So we've got the Hierophant card, and the Hierophant card is in the upright position. So the message here is for many of you, if you're in a relationship, this seems kind of regimented and very structured. Some of you may like that structure. So what I would say with this is it's going to be predictable then. But there could also be sort of a stagnation that's coming through in this. I like that this particular Hierophant has an opening instead of having a traditional like Pope and disciples. So what this is saying is, what if you were to break through some of the monotony or break through some of the rigidity or conservative sort of energy around the relationship and kind of step into the unknown? This is really about being a little bit more out of the comfort zone, out of the box thinking, and trying something brand new. So together, find something that intrigues you and together figure out how you want to do it. You can still have a plan, but there is something about shaking it up a little bit. And there's not just one right way to do it or just one way to sort of solve any puzzle. This is really about thinking about all the different possibilities under the sun or under the stars in this case. So I really like this particular one. If you're single and happy or single and looking, don't let others push you into something and don't push others either. So it's about not being too pushy and not allowing for that energy in your life. The other thing is just a general sort of self-care note with the Seven of Wands in reverse. Many of you may be in a place where it just feels like there's way too much going on in your life. And you need to push back a little bit. There is a place where you can push, and that's saying, I can't do this, or I need some help with this, or just kind of like juggling things a little bit more. So don't be afraid to speak up and push back. And so with the two cards combined here, we see like needing to kind of break through monotony and then also needing to change possibly a way that others are treating you or kind of pushing you to do something. So this is breaking new ground, breaking through stereotypes, basically having a nice breakthrough overall. Okay, so there we go. Thank you so much, Aquarius. Let's move along now to Pisces. All right, Pisces, we're going to take a look and see what's coming through for love. And what we're doing here is in this moment in time. This can really be a timeless reading whenever you happen to watch it, but we're reading here in the middle of January, right after the New Year started. So let's just see. Most of my readings can be used for at least 6 to 8 weeks. A lot of mine can be timeless. So this one, whenever you find it, there's a message here for you. All right, Pisces, let's take a look and see what the message is. All right. All right, Pisces, we have the Page of Cups for those of you in an existing relationship. This is actually a great card. I love that we see the person here on top of a lily or a lotus petal, because what it's really representing is that you've come through the most challenging aspects of something. You know, a lily, water lily, has to push through all of the dark layers and the murky layers of the water in order to emerge, even whether it's the flower or the all those little lily pads. Everything has to push through quite a distance to get to the top. So this is kind of a celebration of how far you've come. Even if you still feel like there's some work to be done, this is definitely a validation of why you've worked so hard to get where you're at. And the Page card is very open. Make sure that you are listening as much as you're speaking, and that you're showing your love and affection as much as you're sort of saying it, because pages can be demonstrative, and it is about intimacy and being able to just share some time together. And that also, the intimacy is not just about, you know, physicality. It's also about talking about things that you care about. So it's a good month, or it's a good period for you with this. I feel like you're in a really good place. The Page card is upright. So stay open and see if your partner doesn't reciprocate that openness. For those of you that are single and happy or single and looking, you're working pretty darn hard. We have the Five of Wands here, which can be about just being sort of mired down in the day-to-day. And I think that there's an encouragement with this to allow yourself to be free, right? Allow yourself to not have to kind of focus so much on that. And if there's a new relationship that comes through for you, remember the importance of you not having to do all the work, and it shouldn't feel like it's work, and you shouldn't have to work to like someone or to enjoy something. It should feel right from the beginning. You know, you can grow to like someone more or a little bit less, but if your first instinct is just no, or you keep dating or spending time with someone and it continues to be no, this is an indication that it may not be worth that sort of continued energy, especially if you're doing all the work, okay? But overall, when it comes to opening up, being creative, really connecting with partners and friends in your life that already have sort of this nice connection with you, I see a deepening of that. You know, one thing that I should have said at the beginning is when I look at all of these, I would say the relationship piece can be used for people that you love in your life with a capital L, not just sort of like romantic. So someone like a family member or a mentor or a teacher that you just really have this sort of unconditional love for, that can work for that too. So the key relationships in your life. So what did you guys think of today? I hope you enjoyed that. This was a different approach for me. I'm trying lots of new things this year, and I just thought, let me see how I like this and how long it takes for me to kind of like move through the energy of it. So I think we got through it in exactly the amount of time that I'd hoped. I'm going to try to end this before 45 minutes is up. One of the common requests has been to make shorter readings, so I'm listening to you. And this is what it would feel like if I did a really short reading, kind of speeding through the signs. I'm still doing a nice normal paced weekend collective tomorrow, and I'll be back next week to resume all of the sign-by-sign readings. So all of the January readings already live on my channel. February ones, I'm smack dab in the middle, and I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. If you like this, please hit the thumbs up. If you have some requests for future types of impromptus, put it in the comment area when this is on replay. If there's something that you wanted to see or whatever, definitely light up the comments. I will listen to them and I will see what I can do for future readings, okay? Thank you so much for joining. Quick reminder that you can join me on social media here. These are all of my handles. Quick note that it's usually just my first and last name, Nicholas Ashbaugh, except for Twitter, which you see right there. Again, this is a democracy here on this channel, so if you like it, definitely hit the thumbs up once to let me know. And if you've never subscribed, subscribe. I would love to sort of see this reach a larger audience. If you'd like to give back with super stickers and super chat, you can do that. I'll say thank you in just a moment. More information on my schedules on my website. All right, give me just a second here. And I would like to share some gratitude. So give me 1 second to say thanks to those of you that gave back a little bit tonight. I do appreciate it. So to any of the new members that might have joined, I'm going to try to say welcome. Give me 1 second here and we'll see if we got any new members. Looks like we have some folks that have rejoined. So Dina, thank you for rejoining after 18 months. Good to have you. Friar Chick, good to have you back after 7 months. Daisy, after 2 months rejoining. Z, after 10 months. Krista Flavin, brand new member, so welcome to this this community. Good to have you. Destiny Fontaine, welcome back after 3 months. And I think that's everyone from the last 12 to 24 hours, so thank you. And now for anybody tonight that gave some super chats or super stickers, I just want to say thank you. So I'll begin at the beginning. Toya James, I appreciate your contribution. Crystal Frankel, thank you very much. Linda P. Anne Frood, let's see. I don't know if I can pronounce this name. It looks like Aritola. Thank you so much. Superficial Cole, Rosemary, big thanks for that 50. I appreciate that. Sheena Davis, Lisa Watson, thank you for the 20. Christine P, Crystal Franco, and then Kaylee, thank you so much at the end too. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, let me know what you'd like to see in future videos. Aaron, appreciate that last late sort of contribution as well. But let me know in the comments below what you like and what you'd like to see more of. And in the meantime, I wish all of you a fantastic, lovely Saturday evening, and I'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Let's see, Apollo is sleeping in the bed behind me, so you'll have to wait until tomorrow morning to see him. In the meantime, lots of love and light. Thank you so much for hopefully what was a really enjoyable impromptu. More to come. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.